Hello. In this video we're going to talk about multiplying vectors by scalars. A scalar is basically it's just a constant. So if we want to multiply a vector by a number. So if we have vector A here again and we have vector B here, what would happen to vector A if we multiplied it by 3? What would you guess would happen to vector A if it was multiplied by 3? If you guessed that the length would triple, you would be correct. So the direction doesn't change at all if you multiply by a positive number. It just changes the length or the magnitude of the vector. So what we would do is we would take vector A and we would keep the same direction, but we're going to make it triple the size. So I'm going to go ahead and try to estimate this again. So this is roughly the length of vector A as is. I'm going to basically draw 3 of these. Alright, and try to keep it, a nice straight line, which I'm not the best at, but we're just trying to learn the concepts here, so that should be good, right? So that's 3A. Let's draw 2B. Same thing, we're going to take the direction of B will stay the same. We're just going to double the magnitude or the length. So, let me get an idea here what this is. My hand starts about there, ends about there. So that's 1B. So 2B would look like that. Okay, so that's pretty simple stuff, right? What do you think would happen if we put a negative in front? Okay, what if we multiply by a negative? If you guess that the direction's going to switch to the exact opposite direction, you would be correct. So if I want to draw negative 2B, I take this same vector, draw it again, but I just switch. I really just need to switch where the initial point and terminal points are, right? Because the direction's going to change. It's going to be pointing this way. So I'm going to use my hands to show how to estimate this. So I'm recreating this vector. But now I want it to go in the opposite direction. So I want it to point in sort of the southwest direction. Okay, so the fact that we can multiply by a negative number, that means that we can actually subtract vectors. And the reason is that, if you look at something like A minus 2B, this is actually the same thing as A plus negative 2B, right? So we just want to take vector A and add it to vector, the negative 2B vector that we drew. Now you get to choose. We went over 2 methods for this, right? Let's go ahead and try to do it with the polygon method. How about that? So we're going to draw vector A. Let me use my hands again to estimate. And draw vector A right here. Oh, I made it purple on accident, but that's okay. So this is vector A. And we're going to add negative 2B to it. So using the polygon method, we make the initial point here line up with the terminal point here. I'm use my hand again to estimate this. Am I still on camera? It's going to end right about there. All right. So that's negative 2B. And then when we add them together with the polygon method, we start our initial point at the initial point of A, and then we make the terminal point line up with the terminal point down here. So this is our resultant vector. Oops, I meant to put R. That's vector R if we say, that this is equal to R. So that's the geometrical interpretation of adding or subtracting A minus 2B. You get that vector right there. All right, that's pretty much it for this section.